In this video, I'm just going to go through all my current art books I'm reading. I've always got 3 or 4 books, 10 books or so on the go. This one is Patrick J. Jones and the next couple are also the same. These are science fiction and fantasy art and it's just superb. They're all from Carrero Press. They are excellent. They're bringing out some more just brilliant books. Every time I see a book from Carrero, I always have to check it out. So let's just go through some of these. Just superb. And it's got lots of information about various techniques, approaches, how to do things, but absolutely superb all the way through. And and here's one, probably more of a better example to show, sort of showing how to develop the paintings. Now, I'm not oil painter. I acrylics, that sort of thing maybe, but nothing with oils. But I love more pencils and sort of charcoal and that sort of ink as well. This is a lovely one. Drawing from photos. I think this is the latest one I purchased. This one's problem solving interpretation. Lots of pencil, charcoal drawing and much, much more. Virtually all the pages have got a photographic image on one side and then some drawing on the other side, showing examples of how to build up the image. And brilliant example on the back, a visual guide to capturing the beauty and line of the human figure using photographic references. And I think it's just a superb book. Absolutely amazing. There's an example there. So you've got a nice quality photographic picture there. And then you've got obviously slight difference. There is slight interpretation definitely has been entered in there. And well, here's another one as well. This book is just brilliant, just like all the other books. I really hope he brings out more books about charcoal and pencil drawing. I love the oil painting ones, they are amazing, but I'm more into pencil, inking, those sort of things. So I would love to see more of those sort of books. But this is still a great book and it's got about, 160 odd pages and I love it. Drawing from photos. Oil painting techniques, again, very similar sort of book, but it's got, again, lots and lots of information, approaches how to work paintings. And I think it's just really, really nice. Very nice quality book as well. All the Carrero books, I think, are just superb. They all got that same sort of feel. And this one, let's say, Carrero Press. Really worth checking out their website. Now, let's see. Oh, there's another picture there I can show. But it's full of some great examples, lots and lots of details, lots of talk and various things about techniques and approaching, taking artistic risks and so on. Just sort of great advice all the way through. This one, Oil Painting Masterclass. Again, another oil painting one. But still, I think they're still very informative, great information, and I love them. Just absolutely love them. It's got like here pictures here. Oh, yeah, mediums and brushes, all sort of stuff. Standard sort of things that you always expect from sort of art books. But it's just great, showing all the obviously original sketches there and other work there. Absolutely love this sort of stuff. So that one's Oil Painting Masterclass. Lots of very similar names, which slightly is confusing. When you actually come to buy them, you think, oh, oil painting techniques, oil painting masterclass, and so on. Can't remember what the other titles were, but there's about 2 or 3 of them that were similar sort of things as well. Now, unfortunately, maybe they're exactly the same. I don't know, because I haven't got them. This one is superb. Story of Art Without Men. And I think this is a very important subject. Katie Hessel. I absolutely love this book. Now, I would have loved it even more if it had been sort of other periods as well. Maybe 11th century, 12th century. I think she could have included a few more of those sort of things. There must have been some female painters that were, but it's just still full of lots of information, lots of great pictures and artists that some of them I've heard of, but some of them I haven't. Like this one, never heard of her. But there's millions of artists I've never heard of. So it's really great just to, obviously Mary Cassatt there and lots and lots of examples all the way through. I found this fascinating. Really pleased when this came. It took forever to come. For some weird reason, it was one of those ones that was going to be delivered and sort of sat in that to be delivered for ages and ages. But it's like 15th century, 16th century, and all the way up to, of course, the modern age. And it's just a really, really good book. Nice thick book. I think it was about £15 or something. I think there's a paperback version coming out soon, but it's always nice to get the hardback edition for any art books generally. I don't mind having that soft or hardback. It's just, I prefer hardback when it comes to art books generally. I love these old books. Portraits and Studies of Women. I've no idea how old it is. This one is Faber and Faber, probably 1940s, 1950s. Might even be earlier. Always hard to tell. It's got a date, unfortunately. I can't work it out, the front. However, it's got tons and tons of information. I love this sort of thing. Lots and lots about the artist, obviously about the painting as well, or illustration, and, well, some really unusual paintings, drawings that I have not seen before. So this one, Veronese, and also this one, obviously Titian. Now, I haven't seen that one. I might have done over the years, but still, Holbein, this is a very unusual one. Meister E.S. Girl with bridal wreath and ring. Wow, very unusual picture. And also many, many others. And this one here, Matthias Grunwald. I guess that's how you say his name. Yet another piece of work there. I haven't seen that either. And that's what I like about these lovely old books. Quite often at book fairs, you quite pick up these sort of like 1920s or 1930s. Quite often like from Germany or something, 1910. And you think, ooh, interesting. They normally weigh a ton as well. But they're always full of really unusual artwork that would never appear in modern painting or art books. I don't think so anyway. They just wouldn't bring those sort of books out. So it's just fascinating just looking at page after page of just really unusual stuff. Much of it is really brilliant. I love sort of like this book I've got of cabinets, and it's like full of sort of pictures of cabinets. I know that's probably not but they're all like 14th century, 15th century, and they're just like, wow, sort of works. You never see anything about them, and yet they're tucked away in a sort of like a 1910 sort of German book. Of course, you can't read the information, unfortunately, but still at the same time, you can still admire the brilliant artwork. And this book, Johann Zoffany. Now, I'd never heard of him before. I'd say a couple of weeks ago, I was just walking through the National Gallery and I saw a painting by him. And I thought, wow, it was a lovely, I don't know what year it was a Georgian period painting. And I thought, just that was stunning, absolutely brilliant. And I thought, I must find out more about this artist. Not many books at all. I mean, lots of books were from a long time ago, but there were sort of very few. And unfortunately, of course, now you get lots of books, but they're collections of pictures and things that I just think, I'm not saying I really just want a collection of pictures. I do like a bit more substance with sort of, obviously a lot of detail about the artist, about the times, about the people that he was involved with. But it's just full of just beautiful artwork as well. And the quality, this is a real lovely book with lots and lots of pictures. Great all the way around London as well. Lots of pictures of London. I always love pictures of like 17th, 18th century London. Just absolutely superb. And also people I've never heard of. Warren Hastings. I am certain he was Warren Hastings. And many, many others. Who's this person? Oh, Marion Hastings. So another picture there. He did quite a lot of these, obviously, family pictures. This one's superb. A King's Purchase. This is from the Queen's Gallery and this Buckingham Palace. I've never been there. Never been to that. I'm certain it's a great gallery. I've walked past it so many times. I quite often walk around Buckingham Palace, going to Victoria, obviously go back to my hometown, but I never go in. Never ever think, oh, I must get a ticket to go and see that. But still, I love these sort of books because it's got some great pictures like that. What a great drawing, painting. I mean, that is just absolutely amazing. Love that. And it's got lots of other things as well, lots of books and things. And also this one, Canaletto. I haven't seen that one before. Though, saying that, I haven't got any books. I think I might have one book, but I don't think I've ever seen that. But I love this sort of thing as well. It's got these wonderful illuminated sheets. Just look at that. I mean, it's just stunning. You can see the artwork. I just always love that sort of style. It's really fascinating how they do that. Incredible. But it's great. I love this sort of book. And another one. I've seen that one. That's quite a famous Canaletto. In Venice, obviously. That is not London. It'd be nice if it was London, the Grand Canal. Quite often he did paintings and make it always look like that, but it doesn't look like that at all. I'm quite certain it didn't look like that at any time, but still, very impressive paintings. This one, I was looking online about this artist and I thought, I've never heard of him. And I looked for some books and they were quite expensive. I thought, oh. And then luckily, one turned up in my local Oxfam. And I thought, oh, that's good. I will have a copy of that. And it's fascinating. Absolutely. Now he's Finnish. I believe he's Finnish. A Finnish paper. It's got Finnish on there. So I assume he's Finnish. Still, just absolutely brilliant paintings. I love this. I mean, look at that. It's just absolutely glorious. And many, many others. And also I love the fact, also got lots of lovely illustrations as well. Very strange illustrations. And also a lovely mezzo tinto there. Just absolutely glorious. So that's a bit of, obviously a very thin book, but it is lovely to get something about the artist of 1865 to 1931. This one's The Other Eden. Now, some of these books I've probably done and mentioned a few times before, but I've been reading this one. I always love these sort of books. Just this sort of period, always great. British paintings. This goes all the way through, obviously from this period, and that's obviously 17 again, or 1697. I was close, something like that. This one, obviously, Thomas Gainsborough. But it also has lots of artwork of the periods I quite like. I like the 1920s, 1930s. There's some really, and I haven't got too many books of that. And I keep occasionally looking, thinking I must find some more books. But I've picked up a few. They had a lovely exhibition of some of those artwork. And I did buy the exhibition book. But there's so many other artists of that period as well that I really like. And this book included quite a few. Also got here Frederick Leighton as well, of course. There, what year was that? That wasn't 1978, 1866. That's pretty decent, but it's still, let's just go through a few more. Oh, look at that one, the Blue Wave. I mean, that is staggering. That is amazing. It all got lots of information about the artwork, and then you got that. I mean, that is really, that is a wave. That is what you could say is definitely a wave. I love that. So that's the Yale Centre for British Art. Great collection. I've never been there. I don't think I'll be popping over there just anytime soon. This is a lovely book, Splendours and Miseries. I know it's got a terrible title, but at the same time, Images of Prostitution in France, 1850, and obviously the subject is 1910, but it's still full of really just absolutely stunning images. Some, of course, you're fairly familiar with, I'm quite certain, good old Renoir there, but there's so many unusual works in this that I'm thinking, you know what, I have never seen some of these. So it's just absolutely great for that. This one, I mean, look at that pencil. I mean, that is just absolutely amazing. And there's other ones as well. I have to be very careful going through this, just checking which pages I can show. And this sort of thing as well. Just great. Now people will turn around and say, oh, I've seen all those works before. I'm certain. Maybe they, but I've never seen them. That's the difference. So I can only say that I've never seen them. I'm certain that they're all very, very well-known works. But I think it's just great. This one especially, Felicien Rops, I never can say his name right. That one's quite a famous one. Lady with a Pig. Well, this one here, Woman with a Veil. This is a very high quality book, really packed solid with lots of like posters, little magazine bits and pieces, things that I've never seen, paintings and drawings, lots of very high quality book. This is probably one of my favourite ones. I love this. I picked this up so many times. I'm always rereading this. Spring Cannot Be Cancelled by David Hockney in Normandy and Martin Gayford. Just brilliant. Not a huge amount of pictures, but lots and lots of great, just talking about David Hockney's works, David Hockney expressing his opinions about this and that. It's just, I'm always eternally fascinated by his works. And also, I see things like this. So it's not just David Hockney all the way through. It's but these sort of things. Got lots of great pictures as well. And I love these. Seen these at exhibitions. Well, maybe not this one, but this sort of style. One of the Hockney exhibitions. And I just love this sort of work. Just mate, I quite like his pencil drawings. Pencil and ink drawings, whatever. That sort of thing. Here, this sort of thing. Just love it. Absolutely great. And he had a few of these ones. And this one, Vincent van Gogh one. It's really, really nice. But it's just full of lots and lots of his thoughts about artwork and obviously many examples of the artwork as well. And it's just worth reading, worth guessing. If you want a really good book, I think actually any book about David Hockney or by David Hockney, I think it's always worth guessing. And this one is definitely one of my favourites. Spring Cannot Be Cancelled. Berthe Morisot, an artist that I really didn't know much about until about 3 months ago. Went to an exhibition, Eva Gonzalez at the National, was superb, absolutely brilliant. Had to find out more about Berthe Morisot, and I did. Just get this book. It's just, I think, a superb artist. Really amazing quality. The thing is, quite often, I just love the way that she works on various painting subjects that perhaps when men do it, that they would do it in a completely different way. So it's fascinating seeing this approach that she applies. And I think she should be better known. I do not know why she's not more famous. I suspect many people never heard of her. But like I say, I'd never heard of her either. So again, another brilliant painting there. I just love her strokes there. It's just absolutely beautiful. I love the dog as well. Probably someone will say, that's a cat. No, it's not. It's a dog. But also the pencil work. It's just beautiful. Embroidery there. Just glorious. Very, not a particularly massive book. but still really decent. I really hope they do a full-on exhibition of her work at some time at the National Gallery. I would love to see that. Maybe, of course, they've probably done that in other, also in France maybe, but here, I'm not certain they have. I might be wrong on that. Please put in the comments below if there's been any exhibitions that you've seen of her work. This is a lovely book. Heads, Hands and Feet. Yeah, no, I think this was from 1950s. And it's just full of some just great little drawings. I love these sort of art books. I'm always, pencil ones especially, because I love drawing pencil. I'm always sketching things, and I just love getting examples like this of different styles, techniques as well. I think that's just great. And it was 49 pence. You can't beat it 49 pence. And it was from ICS, who I've never heard of, but still, John Jellicoe, president of the Colorado Institute of Art. This is an unusual book. Got this in my local Oxfam again. I get lots of books from my local Oxfam. Animals in the Art of the Middle Ages. I love works from the Middle Ages. Always staggeringly impressive. This sort of thing especially. Love these ones. So you can see, I mean, just, it's very hard, of course, to make out much of it. Unfortunately, it's so worn over time. But this one as well. I mean, look at that. Just beautiful. Staggering. Always find that of interest. And you've got some very unusual, I'm not sure that one. You can interpret that in slightly an unusual way. But some of the imagery is just so plain weird. You've got obviously something that never look like anything on earth. That's the thing. And that is the thing about it. It was the mix of sort of the way they combine. They'd probably never seen lions. So they would obviously have it third or fifth, whatever hand, and they would draw it from some book. And you've got sort of some very unusual, this sort of thing. And this was 12th century. And it's tons and tons of information about the artwork. And also, of course, you've got these sort of things as well. The cloisters of Notre Dame. I mean, just glorious. Very unusual. As well as that one, of course. A fairly well-known one, that one there. But a lovely book. This is a nice book. Draw people every day. And I always try and do that, but not as well as this person. I mean, just absolutely superb. The reason I bought this, I thoroughly enjoyed, and I know lots of people did not enjoy it, the Disney series, The She-Hulk, and the artists that did the work on the drawings at the end when they have I love that. I really hope they bring out an Art of She-Hulk book. Maybe there is. I don't know. I haven't looked recently. Maybe there is one. But the artwork I just thought was superb, and it's just full of just so many great examples of the work. I love this. Absolutely brilliant. You can see the style that was used in The She-Hulk as well. Really, really nice. There's no pictures, unfortunately, from the She-Hulk in this. But it's all got about, obviously, the basic things like colour techniques and colour basics, etc. But it's just, I loved it. Absolutely love this sort of book. I love these sort of things where you show, I always like that picture there, then that next picture, and then suddenly that. You think, wow, really? You get from that picture to that picture? That is quite a leap. I know when I do lots of the talk and draw ones in the National Gallery, they do them online. Sometimes it's like that. You see the person, amazing artist, and you sort of do it. You think, really? Sort of just a bit of a... And yet saying that, some of the people, they show their artwork after they finish. They demonstrate the work, and some of them are amazing. You think, wow, these are really brilliant artists. They've done that in like about 40 minutes. They've just sketched up something or done a bit of charcoal, and you think, that is so impressive. I think so brilliant. I love this. I've been to Bohemia, Baroque in Bohemia. Arts Council, 1969. I love picking up these old catalogues. They're just great. Lots of works that are totally unusual. Prodigal Son. Wood, I love that. Wood. I love wood, works that are done in wood. So impressive, all that lime wood, those sort of things. So many great works over the years. Pear wood. I mean, wow. Just amazing. I'm not certain if those works are so well known, but I just think they're amazing. It's like things like tapestries. I know there's one at the Victoria now, but there's a room you go into with tapestries, and it's just full of so many brilliant ones, all from like the Tudor period, and they're on the walls, and you just think it's like stepping back into the Tudor period. You know, often you watch programs on TV when they're doing filming of Anne Boleyn or something, but sometimes when you look at all these things, you really can sort of look into these tapestries, and they're just like amazing works of art. And the sad thing is, so few of them survived. Probably more abroad, but certainly here in the UK, there's very few. And the ones in the Victorian Albert Museum of the medieval period, that sort of Tudor period, just staggeringly brilliant artists. that produce those. I know it's not connected at all with this, but I just suddenly thought about it, thinking about, but there's just so many different forms of artwork, not just paintings, of course, that are worth checking out. I mean, you like the Wallace collection, one of the best places in London. Go behind Selfridges, there's like this gallery, Wallace collection is just full of just loads of things like plates and things and beautiful sets of things. Just the artwork on it is superb. It's also got full of like armour, so many works of like armour. You think, really? How did anyone? And it's someone's house. Someone had this all the stuff. You think that is amazing. But the intricate artwork on all that armour, some of it is just absolutely amazing. Again, not connected with this, but still just reminding me of that. The Sculptor's Workshop. There's just so many brilliant. And oh, here's something here like glass decorated. These sort of things. When you see these. I love this sort of wrought iron engraved with made in Bohemia during the second half of the 17th century in Prague, Museum of Applied Arts. Sadly, I must admit, I went to Prague. I went to quite a few places. I don't remember seeing that, but I'm quite certain I might have seen it. But still. Oh, and some more amazing. I can't show everything. But this is lovely. There's a lovely catalogue of these things. Whenever I see a catalogue, quite often it's like 1969 or 1970 or something like that. You have to buy it. Because you know if you don't buy it, it will not be there 2 days' time and you'll probably never find it again. That's the trouble. If you search online for some of these things, quite often you can't find them. There are always no copies available at all. You find them in like obviously the Victoria and Albert Library, but that's about it. This one is superb. The Edwin Austin Abbey. Now this is readily available. This is from Flesk. I think it's still available. It should be. I bought this only fairly recently. But staggeringly brilliant artwork all the way through. Really, really sharp quality. If only more books of illustrations of this sort of period, and this is like 1882 came out, I would love to see this sort of thing. And this sort of quality it's just great. Now, of course, it could be massive book. I would love to see even that. But still, a love song, Harper and Brothers. These are from various magazines. This one's Harper's New Monthly Magazine, October 1887. Probably ones that are probably pretty hard to find, I would say. But this one, Harper New Magazine, July 1888, I should say. Harper's and Brothers again, 1888. Just really superb artwork all the way through this. And this is just, again, most of them seem to be from things like Harper Magazine, The Quiet Life, 1889, The Merchant of Venice, Old Comedies of Shakespeare. I mean, just staggeringly great artwork, beautiful illustrations, and Measure for Measure, and many, many others. This is the drawings of, as you see there, Edwin Austin Abbey. 350 drawings, and it includes lots and lots of the books, Deserted Village, Old Songs, She Stoops to Conquer, The Quiet Life, etc., etc. So a really, really nice book, really nice quality book. Lovis Corinth. Now, an artist that I wasn't familiar with until a couple of months ago. I saw one picture and I thought I must find out more about him, and I couldn't find much, but I saw this book up in London. Unfortunately, I didn't get it up in London, but I found it online afterwards, and well, it's really very impressive. It's got 300 and nearly 400 pages and lots of colour pictures, lots and lots of photos, and much, much more, and also tons and tons of information about the artist, which is always great. And you've got lots of these sort of things as well. These sort of illustrations. And I love that sort of thing. I don't want it always be solid paintings. It's really nice you sort of have pencil sketches and photos all about the person as well. And this one here, Salome. I mean, just staggeringly good picture there. And also this one here, the Münchner Kunst, it says here, Art in Munich. And it's got caricature by Thomas Theodore. There's lots of other artists, so it's not just Lovis Corinth. I can't even say his name right. There it is. Beautiful painting there. That one is in the woods near Bernried in 1892, oil on canvas. And then there's some other pictures here. The Freemasons, a great bunch. I imagine that was a hilarious meeting, I suspect, at the Freemasons. They all look very happy about themselves. Photos of exhibitions and things, and all the people sitting around and talking about various stuff. This one here, you've got here Salome, second version. Obviously, did a version. Now you've also got here some lovely sketches there and more other works there. Now, not all the works in this are by Lovis Corinth. Quite often they show examples of other artists. But there's this one, Birth of Venus. Now, quite a few of them, unfortunately, it says location untraced. Well, I guess maybe they still exist. Maybe they don't, because obviously during the war, obviously sometimes these paintings didn't always survive. So probably some of the photos, of course, are from magazines or whatever. But the actual original work, who knows? Absolutely lovely. Othello. There you've got Othello. Oh, there's another one here, Portrait of Gerhard Hauptmann. And also the violinist as well. And many, many more. Some real intense pictures. Lots and lots of pictures of his family as well. Also other people. This Portrait of Eleanor. Oh, Woman with Glass of Wine. Now, quite often when you see a lot of these, you always think, oh, that looks like Charlotte. That was his wife. She was also a model there. You can see her on the front as well. Quite a few you think, oh, that's very similar to another person. And also other ones here. I mean, let's just find a picture here. Gotz von, you can see there, very, very intense pictures all the way through it. I absolutely love it. This is I mean, his brushwork was amazing, real intense. Some of it was just, but also this book is also great because it's also got these sort of things as well. It's got lots of these etchings. And I always think that that's great to include those, all the pencil sketches and those sort of things as well. Dance of Death. There's quite a few, like there's one of a self-portrait with him with the skeleton, which is quite an unusual self-portrait. There's also lots of details at the back as usual. Of course, lots of things about all the various exhibitions, as well as many other books. Of course, most, of course, are in German, so I suspect very hard to find. But also, actually saying that, it's got at the back, it's got the complete list of all the dates, etc., of all the paintings. And it's a very, very nice, comprehensive book about an artist that I really was not very familiar with. So I'm really pleased I got this. I saw this in the window of a shop in Charing Cross Road. Unfortunately, I didn't buy it. The shop was shut, so I didn't get it. And I thought, oh, I must get it. I found it online at a reasonable price, and I thought, yes. So Lovis Corinth, really worth an artist worth checking out. Oh, I'm so pleased I finally got this. The Art of Luis Garcia. Now, for ages, this was on pre-order. Obviously, COVID hit, and then everything sort of... But finally, this came out, and wow, David Roach from Dynamite. I love this. This is a real beautiful quality book. It's full of lots of examples. David Roach has recently brought out a book about romance stories in the UK, 50 plus ones for Treasury of British Comics. Well, this one I think is just as good, definitely. Romance strip for SI. You've got these sort of things, ones without obviously the text. So you can put your own text in, blah, 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 blah. Anything you want to put there. Also, you've got Davy Crockett and many, many other examples of his artwork. This one is from Mirabelle, October 1968. Also, you've got some telenovels, novellas, so they would always say. Also, you've got some Vampirella as well. I love these ones where you've got these pictures where he's sort of acting out, obviously, what he wants to draw. I think it's just great, those sort of things. I often do that, sort of dynamic sort of things. I need obviously better lighting maybe, so I could sort of make real sort of, and then sort of draw from that. It's always good to have, of course, models. And of course, a perfect model is yourself, the cheapest one anyway. Also some great artwork here. You've got this one. I think this one's a Vampirella one. Is it Vampirella? No, Creepy 43, the men who called him Monster. So you've got that lovely one there. But there's also a number of like from Pilot. Yes, Pilot number 17, BIS, it says there. Wanted $100. Now, I don't know if these turned up in the US. Maybe they didn't, maybe they didn't. But it's great that they're included in here. And I think some just really, really great artwork all the way through this. And this, look, this one, just quickly flick through it. Obviously, that's Barcelona. This one is Love Strip, Pilot number 2. So you've got another one there. Again, maybe it turned up in the US. Maybe it did, maybe it didn't. I think it's just a beautiful book all the way through. Just great artwork. He was a superb artist. I just think I'm really pleased that I got this. So Luis Garcia by David Roach, really recommended book. The worst thing for me is quite often I watch things like the Talk and Draw, National Gallery, or there's a great talk about a certain artist. And there was one this week, Pizzetta. And unfortunately, there are no books, as far as I can see, available about him. He was amazingly popular, amazingly famous back Canaletto's period. Canaletto, of course, millions and millions of books. Pizzetta, 3 or 4 in Italian, and most of the comments people put, this is very poor, very small, or very bad quality pictures. So hopefully at some point I can find out more about that artist. So perhaps if you've got any information about any great books about Pizzetta, I'm probably not saying his name right at all, it'd be great to hear in the comments. Well, I hope you found this of interest. Near enough each and every week, I'm always reading a whole batch of different art books. So I intend to do a few more of these sort of run-throughs of all my various... Also, another thing, of course, I love music books. So lots of ones about music books I'm reading, as well as, of course, comic books and those sorts of things. Anyway, hope you found this of interest. What books have you been reading this week? Have you been reading any great art books? Any other books? Please put in the comments. Always great to hear. Bye.